For nearly a decade, you've been asking Jason questions. But did anyone think to fact check this guy? This is the Audit Jason Show. Hello, everybody. My name is Jason Piercy, and this is the Audit Jason Show, where we go back through old videos from YouTube and Facebook and all the other places. Maybe MySpace? I don't know. I didn't even have a MySpace account. And we tear them apart, see what's good and what's not, and correct ourselves and be honest about who we were when we thought we were someone else, but we weren't. We were actually just us. Anyway, we're going to watch an old episode of the Ask Jason show from like almost 10 years ago. And this one is sort of timely because just yesterday on Reddit, yes, I'm a realtor that spends time on Reddit. And that's a comment because Redditors are notorious for really hating the real estate industry in general, especially real estate agents and realtors, and they don't distinguish between them, which is fair. I get it. Yesterday, somebody literally asked, what's the actual best website to look for houses? Because there's a million and everybody got them. So I answered it on Reddit yesterday, and now I'm going to answer it on the Ask Jason show 8 years ago. And then we'll audit. Anyway, let's just do the thing. You ready, Director Joe? Are you ready to just do the thing? All right, here comes the thing. Any moment. Press play.
On this episode, what am I doing? I seriously went off the rails. What's wrong with me? And my coffee was too hot, Joe. This real estate stuff is not.
I'm already very sorry. This is chaotic.
Jason Show. Hello, everybody. My name is Jason Piercy, and this is episode 28 of the Ask Jake.
Is this really loud to you, Joe? Because it feels like obnoxious to me. And maybe it's just like because I'm looking at this obnoxious little mirror and I'm like, oh my God, this is intense. I don't even want to watch this. I'm feeling so bad about who I used to am, who I am to be, used to have been. How do you conjugate that? Anyway, let's just watch in horror.
Show. A person, my wife, asked me why I say Ask Jason Show. Like
this is still a thing.
Powerfully and like striking like that. It's because if I don't, I call it the Ask Jason Show. Hello, everybody. My name is Jason Piercy, and welcome to episode 28 of the Ask Jason Show. That's what happens. So now you know, Ask Jason. Okay.
Still
up now. Woo. So today is very special, not for me or for the Ask Jason Show, but for the man behind the camera, Director Joe, which is why this is a mug. This is not a camera lens. This is a mug. It's actually a very crappy mug, but it's sort of cool looking because it looks like a camera lens.
Do you still have it?
Oh. Anyway, the reason that I'm using this is because today is a very special day for Joe. Joe has a brand new camera. And is this the first like real thing? The first work thing other than playing with it and stuff? Say yes! Yeah. It's a fancy new camera, cost him a lot of money. Chances are I actually bought it.
Not like literally, just with income, right? Is that what, like just with paying you for your services? I didn't actually buy him a camera. I did buy you a camera bag one time. Yeah. And lights, actually, and stands way back. Way back. Like when you first started getting into videography. Yeah, and now I have them. They're like at my house, I think. Anyway, whatever. This is the crappy mug. It's a fake Nikon lens. Joe's a Nikon user. Jesus. What a mess. And it's a zoom What a piece of garbage. No wonder. Is this the same one, or is it? I don't remember it being a Zoom. It's the same thing? Anyway, it's a terrible mug. It does, it leaks. It's probably going to leak all over me on this episode. But, nah, it's okay. I can't believe I pulled that off. That wasn't bad. Yeah. Anyway, let's get back to this. But that camera, the new camera you're talking about, is that this camera? No, you since have another camera. He's like, no, you're like 2 or 3 cameras deep since then, right? Yeah. Anyway, whatever. It was just his cell phone.
With money that I paid him for doing this bit of ridiculousness. But either way, it's a very exciting time, and I'm very happy for my boy Joe, and I think it's lovely. However, he's doing this. The Justin Bieber thing? I don't know where this is going. What am I doing? Okay, fidget cube, notepad, terrible mug that looks cool. No Facebook Live today.
The same pin. It's the pin.
That's done. I'm sorry, baby. I'm sorry. Daddy's sorry. Eventually we'll...
Okay. A few episodes ago, I was using a pen, and I said to myself, like, oh my God, it's that pen. I love that pen. It doesn't work anymore, but it's my all-time favorite pen, and I had it for years, and I still have it home in a drawer somewhere. I just don't use it anymore because it doesn't work anymore. And then, like, a few days after that, I texted Joe a picture and sent it to him, and I was like, it's the pen. And he said, what? I was like, the pen. Like, what? Okay, I see it. What pen? Why? I'm like, oh, I thought this was such like a serious thing that I had spoken about and that you edited the episode. Like, did you not even watch it? And now I can't find it, the picture. It must just be in the text message, not in my camera roll. Anyway, I sense an occurrence. Watching this episode is pulling me into that vibe because I'm very distractible now and I'm not at all focused on the content. And this right here is why it is ill-advised for recovering alcoholics to spend time in a bar and around drunk people, because you will get sucked in. And it's why I don't go to crack houses anymore. I don't know. See, this is moving on. I'm sorry.
To the topic. So the question is, what is the best website to go searching for homes? What's the difference between all of these websites? Because if you Google houses for sale in St. John's, you're going to get a bunch of sponsored ads from Google. You're going to get whatever ranking of whichever agent or brokerage, or if it's Realtor.ca itself, and they all have very similar, if not exactly the same information. What one is best from your perspective as a buyer? First thing first, I'm better at looking for houses for you than you are if you tell me the truth and are very honest and very realistic with what your expectations are. So get that out of the way. And when I say me, I mean a real estate professional. So if you have a realtor who is your buyer's...
I need to make a note here because I don't want to forget what I'm going to say after this when I clarify something there, because it's right, but it's you know the expression customer's always right. It's sort of true, but it's also wrong. And the reason it's wrong is not because the customer isn't right in what they think. It's that they're solving their problem with the information that's available to them, as opposed to solving their problem with all of the information that is available. It's just what's in there, what they can grasp in a moment. So I want to put a pin in that comment because there's more to it than that. But generally speaking, yeah, a professional should be better at navigating those search engines to look for something than somebody who doesn't spend all day every day doing it. I mean, that just makes sense, right?
Who you really trust, let them do the searching for you, because what's going to take you hours to find might take me 15 minutes, because I can navigate the system from a different end than you can. You've got this front-facing public side. I've got this back end. There's so many more search criteria for me. It's easier for me to pinpoint what you want in less time than it is for you. Having that said, if you like it and it's fun, have at her. Go mad. But there's only one website that you need to go to, and that's Realtor.ca. And here's why. Because all of the other websites all pull all of their information from Realtor.ca. CREA, the Canadian Real Estate Association. You want to do like a logo thing? Bing!
Oh, you
No,
did it.
I'll do it again. Don't put, you do your own ping.
No ping for you.
It's going off the rails real quick here. Other rails. So CREA, the Canadian Real Estate Association, has this thing called a data distribution facility, or a DDF. And you can subscribe to a DDF feed. And what that means is that every broker, as in every real estate company or every realtor, they all subscribe to this feed such that I have access to all of every real estate company's listings that I can put on my website. But I take it all directly from Realtor.ca. So everything that's on my website is just straight from Realtor.ca. The only difference is, chances are, if I have it on my website, I'm putting it out to you in a way that allows me to capture you as a possible buyer lead so that I can then contact you and ask you to go look at one of the houses that you're seeing so I can get you into a buyer's agreement or develop a relationship with you and then go sell you something and make money. What is the one site you need to go to? It's Realtor.ca. Why? Because it's the original source for all of the most current, up-to-date, accurate, best information. And what's the difference between all the other sites? The ones that don't have a DDF feed are a complete waste of your time. Just like, don't even go there. They don't even have anything important. Like, all they have is that brokerage's listings. That's it. Just that one company's listings. That's all that's there. And you can get them on Realtor.ca already. So that's a waste. Gone. Totally useless to you. And the ones that want to use like your contact information to sign up, like put in your phone number, they're going to call you. That's like, come on. That's what it's there for. Joe's looking at me because he has one of those websites.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah,
He
Director
does.
Joe is a realtor. Did you know that? He's actually... He's looking at me. He's actually really good at it. We're in the middle of doing 2 deals right now.
That's true.
Back to back? What? Awkward. How is this back to back? What is happening? Off the rails! Woo! Yeah, woohoo!
Director Joe is no longer a realtor. Just to have that said. This is a long time ago. The reason he's not is not because all of his lies caught up to him and the house of cards crumbled. It's because he got increasingly good at videography and photography, and the joy that it brings him, combined with the value he provides and the income that value and joy produces, was worth way more to him than what he made helping people buy and sell houses when he didn't enjoy that as much, despite the fact that he was really good at it. So Dr. Joe is no longer a realtor. And I was thinking of something funny to say, but I don't have anything. So, like, maybe just cut that part out. Continuing.
So when they ask you for a phone number or an email address to register for their website, that's because they have every intent in contacting you to try and go sell you something. Not every realtor or every real estate company's website that has a feed from CREA's data distribution facility will have a lead capture device like that. Not all of them do. For instance, I don't use it because I don't see a lot of value in it, but I have a website from Keller Williams. Mine has a data distribution facility feed that doesn't require you to sign up to my newsletter or anything like that. So it doesn't capture your contact information. So mine would be a good place to go look for stuff, but I don't use it because here's the truth about real estate. We used to make our money and
Okay, pause. Because I know what I'm about to say right now about where the value in having a realtor is when you're buying a house, and it's really important. But I want that to stand on its own. Before that, I'm not with Keller Williams anymore. I haven't been in quite some time, a number of years now, 6, 7 years or something. So probably not too long after this video was made. At EXP, I do have one of those lead capture websites. It's out there. I don't run ads toward it. It's there. I don't ever use it. Instead, I have built a custom website for our team, the askteam.ca, and you can search all through Realtor.ca with the data distribution facility on that website. It doesn't ask you for any of your information. It's not there. So like search away. There's probably a small lag versus Realtor.ca itself, just because it takes time for the distribution of the information. But you can search for whatever you want there, or just go to Realtor.ca, or just speak to your realtor. But a realtor's website should not be about finding houses. A realtor's website should be about finding the realtor, like the content that they provide, the information that they put out there, what sort of market insight and analysis that you can get from somebody's expertise that they put in their blog or their video series or whatever. That's the value in their website. You can find houses anywhere. The value in a realtor is no longer finding the houses. And that, I think, is what old me, young me, I feel like I've been here before. That me, whatever me, is trying to say. So, and before I push play, bye, Ethan. Have a great day, man.
I didn't want to make a racket.
No. Well, I've heard you play guitar. You always make a racket. See ya. Ethan is Director Joe's son, and he just happened to be here, and he's gone now. And the dog, Ray, who I believe you've seen a picture of before, maybe again, if Joe watches stuff when he edits it. I don't think so. Probably no dog here. Roof, roof. He might do that. So let's just watch.
To gain you as clients by being the gatekeepers of all of the information, by being the ones who help gain you as clients.
I'm rewinding for context.
So mine would be a good place to go look for stuff, but I don't use it because here's the truth about real estate. We used to make our money and we used to gain you as clients by being the gatekeepers of all of the information, by being the ones who held the listings hostage, and you needed me to get to the listings. That's not true anymore. Any realtor who wants to make their money off of still trying to be the gatekeeper, and they've not been the gatekeeper for like 6 or 7 years, change and adapt or retire. Or just wait till you go out of business, because that's not your job anymore. Now your job is to be a facilitator of a transaction and to be an expert negotiator and to help people and to do what's in their best interest. You have a code of ethics. You have regulatory duties and responsibilities. You have fiduciary duties and responsibilities. Realtors aren't gatekeepers anymore. You don't need me for that. That's why I don't have a website. And that wasn't even the question. What was the question? That's what happens when I get a caffeine-fueled rant. That's still way too hot. I can't even drink it. I think that's all I have to say today. Go to Realtor.ca or download the Realtor.ca app. It's all you need after you've concluded that you want to do the searching yourself. Because myself or Joe or tons of other expert real estate professionals in and around our city and real estate market are better at finding your house for you than you are. Thanks for coming out. It was fun. I'm sorry to this guy. I did a number on him. Oh my God, it's over. I will see you later. I didn't even try it. Oh, I'm sorry, girl. This thing is sort of fragile.
I
still can't get a sip of this thing.
I mean,
The Ask Jason
I don't-
show exists
I don't know,
so that
guys.
You can get good real estate related information.
I don't know what I was doing there.
That you can
I'm-
trust. Now, speaking of
I really
resources
mean it.
you
I-
can
I am
trust,
sorry.
here's a couple I would trust to work with
I don't know if
you
there's an
now.
outtake after this one. I like to stick around to see if there's an outtake. Probably is. It was a wild episode.
You like popsicles? I got a whole basement full of popsicles.
I have no idea where that came from. That's the old creepy neighbor on Family Guy, right? Do you like popsicles? I got a whole basement full of popsicles. I have not watched Family Guy or attempted to do that voice in, I'm going to say, since I filmed that previous episode. Probably. Okay, so how do we feel about that? I think it's still true. Still very, very true. If you're looking for real estate, if you're looking for listings on the internet, houses for sale, which, by the way, this is how real estate advertising works. All right, buyers want listings, sellers want buyers. So if you're trying to find buyers, you show listings. If you're trying to find sellers, you demonstrate an ability to get buyers. That's it. That's the whole thing. The cheap and easiest way to demonstrate that you have access to all of the listings is with some Google pay-per-click campaign with keywords surrounding house, St. John's, sale, deals, like, and it's why you got all these vanity URLs like my St. John's best deal house.com. And like you hear the ad on the radio was like, find the best deals in town hyphen there. I don't know where I was going with that, but those are all forced lead capture websites. You got to put in your name and your email, probably your phone number. And they don't have to be. Just so you know, they don't have to be. All of these websites have settings that you can adjust if you're the owner of the website. So I can take, I have access to one. I don't use it. I can put it out there, and I can make it mandatory that you give me your email address, and only your email address. Or I can make it mandatory that you give me your email address and your first name, or your first name and your last name. And I can make your phone number optional, or I can make your last name optional. Or I can mandate that you give me your birthday if you want to access the information on the website. All of these things are options that realtors specifically force you to provide so that they can get your information and use it as an opportunity to reach out to you and talk to you about what you want to buy and try and demonstrate their value. Is that a bad thing? No, not inherently. It's not a bad thing. The practice, the concept is not a bad thing, because what I said in that video all those years ago about the professional real estate agent should be better at finding what you are looking for than you are stands to reason, and that's still true. The nuance, however, and this is something I've realized over time, it's not helpful to tell you that I'm better at finding what you want than you are. Not only is it not helpful, it's a really poor way of communicating what I'm actually thinking in the moment. And what I'm actually thinking in the moment is that asking you what you want is not a good question. It's not a helpful question. Because when I ask you what you want, you're just regurgitating the decisions that you have already made. And I'm not helping at all. You're just parroting it to me. There's no interpretation. There's no experience. There's no analysis of the market. There's no insight. You're just telling me the decisions you've already made. The better question for a buyer's agent to ask a buyer is, what real estate problem are you trying to solve in searching for this house? What's the problem you're trying to solve? And that gives me way more insight into what you're looking for in your next home. Because if I say to you, what do you want? You'll say, I want a 2-story with an attached garage. Or you'll say, I want a bungalow with a garage. And I'll say, okay, what about a split entry? And you'll say, no split entries. And if I don't ask you why, then I just won't include any split entries. But if I do ask you why no split entries, you'll tell me that you remember the house you grew up in, and on Christmas, whenever anybody would come over for dinner, the little space when they first walked in, because there was no porch, was full of snow and slush and boots everywhere, and your socks were wet, and you hated it. Stop buzzing. And that was a problem. But that's not a problem with split entries. You didn't have a porch. So instead of saying, what do you want? The better question is, what problem are you trying to solve? And then all of the insight and all of the experience and all of the increased ability to search individual categories that just aren't in your drop-down menus on Realtor.ca. The ability to access that stuff in combination with the insight and the experience helps you solve your problems in a more detailed and nuanced and complete way than, through no fault of your own, you were able to do. And that's why I don't know how to finish the sentence. I don't know how to, but does that, you were listening. Do you know what that makes sense, right? So it's not that the customer is always wrong, because they're not. The customer is right. We're just asking the wrong question. The question is not what. The question is why, or how, or where, or when. Those are the ones that matter. Anybody can ask what. And that's it. Also, I'm really glad I'm not him anymore. I would be so tired now. Can you imagine? That looked like so much effort. And Joe, like, you had to edit that. That was like over 8 minutes. How long do you think the raw footage was? Like, if you had to guess, twice that? Hours. Shut up. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. And we'll see you next time. TheAskTeam.ca.